Variety Boxing, in association with Frank Warren and Queensberry Promotions, delighted at last to catch up with Caoimhin Agyarko again. How are you, Caoimhin?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Glad to be back in London, back in iBox gym, training. Yeah, I'm not too bad.
I suppose lockdown is kind of twofold for you. It's nice for you to go home for an extended period of time and do very little, but at the same time your own ambitions and fires that are burning inside you are really showing up on your social media, how desperate you are to get cracking again.
Yeah, definitely. I think I enjoyed my time home, spending with friends and family. Although I was training every day, I just couldn't wait to get back in the camp. I think 12 weeks was way too long to be off out of a gym training like a professional. So I'm glad to be back. Although I had a good break, I'm glad to be back, and I want to just push on now.
There is this sort of aura about you at the moment, almost like you are desperate to get cracking now, and big fights from now on seems to be the order of the day.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I want to put my name on the map. I want to put my name out there and show people how good I am. The people who know me know how good I am, but in terms of winning titles and stuff like that, I just want to push on, get a couple of good names on the record and just keep on progressing.
There's a few tasty fights out there and domestically at middleweight, and I mean, even off the top of my head, I'm sort of thinking Denzel Bentley's about. You've got the new man from Stoke, Heaney, and that's just off the top of my head. And I suppose those names are appealing to you.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, both good fighters. Both fights I would take in the future. If it was at the right time, right money, right everything, and it was for something. But yeah, the middleweight division is booming at the moment. So many talented fighters, especially under the Frank Warren banner. You got Liam Williams, you got the two names that you mentioned, and a couple others. So
you and Bentley would be carnage, I reckon.
Yeah, Denzel Bentley's a very good fighter, strong, got good boxing skills. Definitely a good fight for the future, 100%.
I presume now that you're booked in on one of the summer series of shows that's going to be announced either today or tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't want to say it just yet, but I am. Yeah, I've been told I'm going to be fighting soon, so back in camp, and whenever it's announced, it'll be a big announcement.
I know pre-lockdown there were a couple of interesting fights earmarked for you. Are those fights still there, or has it moved on to something else?
The fights are still there. We're going to have one 8-rounder and then jump into maybe a 10-rounder against a good name, but
an Irish name, wasn't it?
Scottish name.
Scottish,
yeah.
Oh,
no, sorry. Yes, you're right. It was an Irish name. Forgot all about that. That's out the window now at the moment. I haven't heard anything back on that, even though I asked for the fight twice. That's out the window. But we moved on to something else. Someone with a good winning record, and I'm looking forward to it.
Great stuff. Now, before the world stopped for a little while, I saw a tweet from you saying, I want to talk more about mental health, I want to do some interviews and get my thoughts and point of view out there. What was on your mind at the time?
I want to help my community. There's a lot of people in Northern Ireland, in Belfast, where I'm from, that are taking their own lives, and a lot of young people, and I want to put my story out. Although most people know it, I want to help in some way to help them and have a better life and overcome their fears and overcome their demons, just like I have. I've overcome all that, and I know that they can. I know that if I can do it, that they can do it. So I want to do something to help my community.
Are you over it, Caoimhin? In all honesty, you know, don't you still have good and bad days?
100%. I still have good and bad days, but I learn to deal with them. Some people don't know how to learn to deal with it, and on their bad days, that's when it gets really bad for them. As where I've conquered how to deal with them bad days, and I've overcome that period where I was down every single day, and I've learned from that, and you have to be willing to help yourself at most, do you know what I mean? So that's what I wanted to do, and I helped myself, and thankfully everything's been on the up, even though I still have bad days. I have bad days in camps. I'll come into training, I will notice that there's something wrong, there's something playing on my mind and stuff like that, but I know that I figure out there's something wrong, and I know that there's something playing on my mind, and whenever I know there's something wrong, then I can figure out a way to fix it or make myself feel better and stuff like that. So other people don't know how to do that, and I want to try and help them and overcome their fears.
Now, for those who don't know, your story you're referring to is you were a victim of a knife attack Was it 3 or 4 years ago?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. How much anxiety do you get from the fact that you know that the perpetrators are still out there when you go home?
A lot, you know what I mean? When I walk through town where it happened, I can recall the first time I ever walked through town after it happened, it was a couple months after, a couple weeks after, I broke down into tears. Whenever I walk through town, I get a certain feeling, that uncertainty, that this is where it happened, that they're still out there. I look over my shoulder and stuff like that, but I've got to overcome that, do you know what I mean? I can't always...
Not easy.
It's not easy, but the one thing about me that I've taught myself over the years, that to become mentally strong, and especially as a boxer, you need to be very mentally strong, so that helps a lot, and I'm thankful that I've got great friends and a great team around me, that people I can speak to. Do you know what I mean? Like the likes of Al and Ed, if something's wrong, I can go to them and say, listen, there's something on my mind today and I'm not feeling the best, so if I'm a bit moody, that's why, and stuff like that. So
I saw a tweet from you the other day, and I think it went something along the lines of, when I was attacked, there was something like 400 people around and they still didn't find the perpetrator. And you were kind of referring to the Black Lives Matter movement protest that's been happening in recent weekends. Do you feel there is a sort of a racial injustice in the fact that no one's been brought to justice for your attack?
I do. Do you know what I mean? My mind puts it down to a lot of things, and there's two main things that I put it down to. Maybe one, that's because I'm black and mixed race, or two, that they just didn't care because I was still alive. They didn't care about maybe if I would have died, that they would have maybe tried to prosecute somebody and bring bring me to justice. But I'm still here, and I think that because of that they didn't prosecute anyone or bring it further. And the other one is because of my colour.
Did the protests over recent weeks particularly resonate with you? Did you see where people are coming from? Yes,
100%. Obviously, being a mixed race person that grew up in a society where I grew up in Belfast in the early mid-2000s, 2005, 2006, where there was no blacks or mixed race, very rarely anyway, so I faced a bit of racism and stuff like that. So people out protesting, I can see where they're coming from. We just want justice, you know what I mean? We want to be treated fairly. Everyone's human, and the thing that I keep on saying that people don't seem to realise is it's not white versus black, it's everybody versus racist people, sorry. Everyone faces racism in their life, they can do anyway, at some stage, you know what I mean? So I don't believe it's white versus black, I just think it's everybody versus racist, do you know what I mean? And the sooner people learn that, the better.
It's interesting, I had this conversation with Denzel Bentley only just a couple of days ago. I put to Denzel and he sort of agreed. It's just these protests illustrate how many people out there are unhappy and have got a grievance, and I don't know what the right word is, but it is an eye-opener, and it's sad in a lot of ways.
Definitely. I think as long as people are peacefully protesting, then they should fight for their rights and to be treated right and equality. And you can see with how many people in America and in the UK that have come out to support whites, blacks, everybody from different races have come out to support the Black Lives Movement. So it's great to see, and I hope that there can be a change.
If you hadn't been or turned yourself into Black Thunder, and supposing you'd just gone through the schooling system in Belfast and come out as a reasonably qualified young man, do you think the full opportunities would have come to you as they would have done to a white lad from Belfast?
I don't think so, no. I think that there has been times where, like, just the likes of people walking across the street, or like I'm walking up a street and they cross over the road, and I have been racially abused, so I can't say that I do think I would have been treated fairly, especially in my situation where I was stabbed. I was a black person stabbed against, there was 20, 30 white people there, so who was involved, not just alone in there was 200 people there, but there was 20, 30 white people who attacked me, and there was no justice brought for me, so I do think that they would be kind of judged and maybe not have the right opportunities.
Just going back finally to your mission to help people who are sort of on the brink of suicide back home. And you mentioned that you know when things are coming personally. Is it teaching these people how to recognise their trigger points? But you know, when you get that trigger point, you think you get the early signs of something's not quite right.
Yeah, definitely. It's once you realise that, it's how you deal with it, what you do, what the next step is to fix it. People seek alcohol, drugs, stuff like that, and that worsens the situation where they think they're taking their mind off it, or it's helping where it's not. Once you figure out what the problem is, seek help, speak to somebody, speak to your friends, speak to your family.
Have you had help?
I've had professional help. I went and seen somebody about a year after I got stabbed, and it took a year. It took me a year. I spoke to my girlfriend every day. When I finally opened up to her, I spoke to her, and then I was like, right, I need to get help because I was having suicidal thoughts. I hit rock bottom, and there was times I wanted to take my own life because of that, because of nobody was brought to justice, because if I'm out in town and I see one of them, do you know what I mean, or they're still out there and they could harm me again, do you know what I mean? So I had my lows, and I dealt with that by speaking to somebody, getting professional help, and I'm a person who holds a lot of pride.
You could almost be that bridge between the individual and them getting professional help. You could be that bridge in the middle and say it's okay to do it. You know?
Exactly. If you look at someone like me who's a lot of pride, I've never been an emotional person. I've never been somebody who has ever opened up to anybody throughout my whole life. And whenever I get stabbed, I felt that I need to, especially as a boxer. Do you know what I mean? Someone who's meant to be strong and hard and tough. Do you know what I mean? Have a lot of heart. I don't need to speak to anybody. And that's the way I felt I was. Do you know what I mean? I felt I don't need to speak to anyone. How are they going to help me? Do you know what I mean? But whenever I sought help and actually got help, I realised that this can help. Once, even just speaking about it, even just getting it off your chest feels so much better. Do you know what I mean? Rather than actually doing something about it. Speaking to you could help. Do you know what I mean? Speaking to anybody could help.
Caoimhin, thank you for your unflinching honesty, and next time we'll talk about your next fight.
Definitely. Thank you.